Hey trendsetters, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tori if you guys are new here, and today we're going to be talking podcasts because I am absolutely obsessed with podcasts lately that I thought I would share with you guys some of my favorite ones today on my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 5 favorite podcasts for girl bosses and future leaders because I really think you guys are going to love these podcasts. They're very inspirational, motivational, and they'll definitely keep you on track towards your goals. So if you guys happen to be new around here, like I said, my name is Tori and I currently work a full-time job as a social media marketer, and I just recently opened my own online clothing boutique called SweetOnYouBoutique.com. It's only online, so if you want to check it out, I will leave a link down below for you guys. But yeah, since I do work a full-time job and I do own a business, I find myself listening to podcasts a lot lately. They keep me going and working towards my goals and just keep me inspired, and I love them so much. So I listen to them on my hour commutes to work and my hour commute back. So I just really wanted to share those with you guys today, and if you guys are new around here, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and hit that post notification bell. That way you guys get notified every single time I upload a new video. You can also keep updated with me on social media. I will leave all my links down below. And let's just go ahead and get right into the video. Okay, so since we're on the topic of girl bosses, I really thought it was fitting to wear this super cute shirt from my store, Sweet On You Boutique. This is our light olive collared crop top, and for some reason it just gives me major girl boss vibes. I absolutely love it. And it's currently on sale. It's $33.60 on our website, and it's still available in size small and medium. So if you guys want to get one for yourselves, I will leave a link down below for you guys. Also, this necklace is also from my store. This is our dainty gold choker necklace. This retails for $18, and again, I will leave it linked down below for you. And because you guys are YouTube followers and subscribers, I really want to give back and say thank you so much for checking out my online store. So you can use the code TRENDSETTER at checkout for any of our sale items and get an extra 15% off. I think this is such a cute piece for end of summer into early fall. And like I said, I just think it's super cute and very girl bossy. So if you want to check it out, I will leave it down below for you. Alright, so now let's just dive right into the podcast. So the first one I want to talk about is actually one of my favorite podcasts. And this one is called the Thinking Like a Boss podcast with Kate Crocco. So Kate Crocco is a confidence and mindset coach for female leaders, and her podcast is all about women who currently have a business that once had fears in their business and fear in themselves and how they overcome their fears to be successful. So her podcast really just touches on the true stories of what it's like to open a business and all of the kind of limiting beliefs that you have within yourself and how you can overcome them and really just transform your mindset and lead you to success in your business. And I just think her podcast is very realistic in the sense that you can definitely relate to these women, because I'm sure many of you have had limiting beliefs that are very similar to these girls, and they just kind of share with you how they were able to change their mindset and just be positive about their experiences and turn it into success in their business. So I definitely think this podcast is very relatable, and you guys will absolutely love it if you are on the verge of starting your own business or if you currently own a business. It's definitely helpful to hear other women's stories and just feel like you're not alone when you're going through entrepreneurship, because sometimes it can feel like nobody understands, but these podcasts I feel like really show you that there's other women who are going through the same thing. So I would check that one out. It's one of my favorites and I absolutely love it. Okay, so this leads me into my next podcast, which is actually a newer podcast, and this one is by Natalie Barbu, and it's called The Real Real Podcast. And so Natalie, if you guys don't know who she is actually a full-time YouTuber now, but she was a YouTuber who also filmed her life as a full-time employee, and then also kind of like how she does her YouTube channel as well. So her videos were very realistic and relatable because they did show you kind of what it was like to work a full-time job. And so her podcast is kind of a little bit of that as well, in the sense that it shows you a little bit of entrepreneurship, and it also shows you a little bit of like regular everyday people who work a 9-to-5 job. So I believe in one of her podcasts she interviewed a teacher, like one of her friends that was a teacher, and then she also did an episode where she interviewed a YouTuber and how she made a living out of YouTube. So I think her podcast is really just kind of inspirational. It gives you a lot of insight of just real people with real jobs and real careers and how they made it a life for themselves that they love. Whether that is going to a 9-to-5 job or if it's going to start your own business. I just feel like her podcast is very inspirational, and for that I think it's a really good girl boss podcast. Alright, so my third favorite podcast is actually On Purpose with Alex Beaton. This is a really awesome podcast that just kind of encompasses life in general and business. This is a great one if you are a current entrepreneur and you're just kind of overwhelmed with everything that comes with entrepreneurship. If you want to live a well-balanced life and also grow your business and just, you know, stay focused and on track with your goals, this is a really good podcast for you. She kind of touches base with everything. She gives you marketing tips, insight to growing your business, real life stories from other entrepreneurs, and she also talks about like how to stay focused and just how to balance everything, because I feel like that's like one of the hardest parts of being an entrepreneur and owning a business. So I definitely think this is a great podcast to listen to if you recently started a business and you're kind of feeling stuck, or you're feeling like you're losing track, or you're getting uninspired. It's a really good podcast for you. Definitely check that one out. Alright, so podcast number 4 is absolutely one of my favorite podcasts ever. I love this one. I found this when I was commuting to work and I was in the process of opening my own online clothing boutique. This one just really helped me with my business and gives me such valuable, informative information. I feel like I learned so much from this podcast. And this one is specifically for boutique owners, but I'm sure you can totally grab some information from this podcast even if you don't own a boutique and you just own a business in general. It's very insightful and very informative. Okay, so why don't I actually tell you what the name of the podcast is? And the name of the podcast is The Boutique Chat with Ashley Alderson. Like I said, this is such a good podcast. She interviews a bunch of experts in the industry of retail, and she also interviews other boutique owners and how they built their platform to be where it is today. It's very inspiring, very motivational, and like I said, if you own an online clothing store, you are a boutique owner and you're not listening to this podcast yet, you need to. It's so good. But she's just amazing. I feel like she's a really motivational person. I love learning from her, and everyone she interviews is really inspirational as well. So this is a great podcast. I just can't say enough good things about it. I love it so much. Okay, so I definitely saved the best for last. This is my absolute favorite podcast ever. I know I said that about every single one of them, but really, if you're going to listen to any podcast from this video, this is the one to listen to if you are going to start your own business or you really want to become an entrepreneur. This one gives you the daily pep talk that you need. It is such a good, uplifting podcast. You can't listen to this and not feel inspired afterwards. Like, you definitely listen to this and you want to take on the challenges put before you, and you just want to hustle and do whatever it is that you want to do with your life. This is the best podcast for you in that sense. And this is the Don't Keep Your Day Job podcast with Cathy Heller. So Cathy is, I would say, a motivational speaker. She's soon to be an author. She's releasing a book very soon. But I love her podcast because she kind of teaches you how to take your passions and turn it into a profitable business. And this can be with anybody. She interviews a bunch of different entrepreneurs. You don't have to have a retail clothing boutique. This is about anybody who wants to turn their passion into a career. So she interviewed a dancer before, she interviewed a baker, an artist, a bunch of different people. It's very inspiring, and it's really inspirational to hear other people's stories of how they were able to turn their passions into the business and life that they always wanted to have for themselves. It's just a really great podcast. I love Cathy. I think she's a great person. You can tell she really cares about what it is that she does, and she really wants to help you turn your passions into a career, and that's why I love this podcast. Alright guys, so those are my top 5 favorite podcasts for girl bosses and entrepreneurs. I really hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help out my YouTube channel. Also, if you have listened to any of these podcasts, let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite, and if you haven't listened to any of these podcasts, which one are you going to download and start listening to, because I'm curious, which one do you think sounds the best? Also, I'm really thinking about starting my own podcast, so let me know if you guys would be interested in listening to it if I did create one. I really hope you guys are enjoying these girl boss and entrepreneurship videos, because I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more of them to come. But enough of me rambling. That is all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next YouTube video. Bye! I'm going to go eat a buffalo chicken wrap because your girl's hungry, and listen to another one of my favorite podcasts.